What I'm really trying to teach is judgment. And I believe judgment is not something you're born with. I believe it's something that can be taught.
I feel like every college should have entrepreneurship in it.
Absolutely. So I think, especially in the age of AI, where so many jobs are going to be replaced, the mode of learning has to change. So things like memorization or observation are irrelevant over the next set of years. What is most relevant is judgment, okay? So the reason entrepreneurship is so critically important, to your point, is because it forces student to stop being reactive or stop pretending they're the person to actually being the person making these decisions, okay? Making these imperfect decisions. So what I say to my, there's a great book called The Coddling of the American Mind. We need to move to the opposite of that. So education at higher levels has been all about how do we make students as comfortable as possible. It should be the opposite.
Ooh.
It should absolutely be the opposite.
Let's get uncomfortable.
Yeah, correct. Let's get uncomfortable.
How do we make them uncomfortable?
Well, so we do things like we force them to express their opinions, okay, in a transparent way. We force them to make decisions that are consequential without having all the information. Now, ultimately, it's safe because you're in a classroom, but it forces them to seek risk. Okay, one of the things I say, Elizabeth, to my students, I say, when I say the word risk, what do you think? And many of my students would say, I want to avoid it.
Interesting.
Okay, it's the opposite. You need to
all we do in
risk.
entrepreneurship.
Correct. Risk is where the return is. Now, you don't want to jump blindly into it.
Right. Calculated.
Right? Calculated risk.
Yes.
Exactly. People think of founders as people who jump off a cliff blindfolded into shark-infested waters. You know that's not true, right?
No.
What you're doing is calculate. What you don't do is get paralyzed by risk, right? You realize risk is something you have to deal with, and you're actually going to be decisive in the face of risk. So I try to create environments where there's real risk, where my students have to make decisions.